Make sure that's going. All right. Well, welcome to I'm going to call it our first ever Diamond Development Call. We are very serious about trying to create resources and information and opportunities for our coaches in the Southeast region to develop as diamonds. And the reason that we wanted to focus on that, or kind of our thinking behind, hey, let's call this a Diamond Development Call, is at some point or another, we are all either trying to, develop ourselves as diamonds or create more diamonds in our organizations, trying to revive diamonds in our organizations, trying to keep diamonds in our organization. It really is about creating a diamond mine, a diamond factory, if you will, here at Beachbody. And so our intention here is a Southeast region leadership team, Keyshawn Graves, Paul Jensen, myself. We want to be a great resource to you and assist you in developing diamonds. Again, whether that's yourself, whether that's in your group, we want to create resources for you to be able to do that. And so welcome to our Diamond Development Call. We will have these once a month. And every other week we will have, through the end of the year, we'll have our Elite Contenders calls. So mark your calendars for September the 16th. That will be our next regional Zoom. It will be an Elite Contenders call. So it is for those contending for Elite. Hopefully that's you. And we will have Michael Neiman on that call. He's going to join us that morning. So mark your calendars for that. Hopefully that's a call that you can participate in. Great. Before we get started with today's training, I'm going to turn the time over to Miss Keyshawn Graves for some September announcements. Keyshawn.
Hello, Southeast region leaders. Oh, there I am. Keyshawn Graves here, and I just have a few September announcements for you. First of all, I want everyone to give yourself a huge round of applause for being a part of what was the biggest month in Team Beachbody history. Woo! That's right. August was the month where we touched more lives than ever before. And that's a direct reflection of your leadership and for just rocking out Team Cup. So let's talk about September. We have a few things to help you maximize your success this month. The first, it's back to basics. Be sure you get your new coaches started right and win cool prizes at the same time. You can visit FAQ 3707 for more details. And if you haven't already, be sure you check the back office for the new Coach Basics 2.0. Oh my word, Kim Carver and the training team did a fantastic job. So that's FAQ 3707. The second, our program promotion. And those promotions this month are PIO, the PIO Kickstart Challenge Pack, and the 3-day refresh. And of course, FAQ 3659 has further details there. We have two really awesome Success Club promotions this month. And the first is the P90X bundle. How cool is this? If you achieve Success Club 5, help 3 or more people this month, you will earn P90X. P90X2 and P90X Plus. That's a total retail value of $299. Oh my word. You can visit FAQ 3710 for more details. And the second Success Club promotion this month is exclusive for our leadership attendees. That's right. If you're 5-star diamond and above, and one of our top 10 Success Club point earners who are attending fall leadership this year, you will be invited to participate accountability text messages with our CEO, our fearless leader, Carl Deichler, as well as an exclusive and private dinner on a yacht during leadership. You can visit FAQ 40009 for details there. I want to see some people from the Southeast on that yacht. All right, last but certainly not least, for every challenge pack sold in the month of September, Carl Deichler himself will donate $5 to IJM. That's the International Justice Mission. And after 100,000 challenge packs are sold, Carl will then double his contribution with the goal to contribute and donate $1 million to stop human trafficking internationally. So remember to use the hashtag Leading with Courage anytime you and your team are out helping people this month. Well, that's all I have for you. Let's go out and rock September, Southeast Region leaders, and I'll pass it back over to Craig.
All right. Thank you, Keyshawn. If you guys needed a noon wake-up call, you just got it. Thank you, Keyshawn. All right. We're going to move right on into our training. We want to make these regional Zooms very efficient and give you a great return on your investment. In fact, that term right there, ROI, guys. Return on investment. When you are a business owner, that is one of the most critical things that you have to evaluate is what type of return are you getting on your investment, whether that is time, whether that is money, whether that is mental bandwidth, emotional budget that you have, right? Everything is about what type of return that you can get on your investment of yourself, of your money. And traditional businesses and business owners, they're constantly evaluating that question, whether it's in considering the purchase of equipment, whether it's hiring more personnel, whether it's marketing, promotions, advertising, whatever the business decision that comes into play. It's like, hey, what will our return on investment be? Okay. Now, one of the resources that we all have in common, all right, regardless of who you are, is time. All right. We all have 24 hours in a day, okay? Obviously, we all have different things to do and different places we need to be, but we all have 24 hours budgeted into every single day. We cannot change that. That is a law of nature. However, we can become more efficient and better organized about the way we use that time resource. And so the purpose of today's Diamond Development Call is to help you be able to better manage that resource that is time to produce a better investment on the time that you have available to dedicate to your business. And so we have invited, and she has graciously accepted, one of our top coaches in the entire network. In fact, Brittany LeGette is a 2014 Elite Top 10 coach. She is a superstar diamond, and she is also a recipient of the Craig Collier Awesome Person Award. And so we love Brittany. We are going to make sure, Brittany, are you able to unmute yourself there? I see you're muted. You are off mute. We're going to turn the time over to you, Brittany. Thank you so much for what you're about to share.
These are so cool. Thanks so much for asking me to hop on. And hi, everybody. I know, oh, wow. I don't want to see my face. Hold on a second. Let me go back to gallery view. Okay, there we go.
Come on, Brittany.
So I can see some familiar faces, but I know a lot of you I don't know. And I know a lot of you guys are on your phones. So for that reason, you may have already seen, but I went ahead and popped a few of the slides and resources into the event page already. So if you're on your phone, don't worry. You can go back to the event page and kind of take a look at what I'm going to share. But it was kind of convenient that Craig asked me to share on time management because, well, one, because it's so important to me, and two, because I just revamped my time management strategies and shared with my team literally last week. So I've been researching and kind of updating myself on some strategies over the last month or so. And so, you guys, I became a coach January 2013. I'm a military wife. I have no kids. And military living, it comes with its share of struggles and chaos and all that. But I also reached a unique obstacle in my business with my team, not being able to connect with moms on my team. People feeling like they couldn't do what I do because they have young kids at home or because they have more responsibilities or more lives depending on them. And so I knew from the beginning, in order for me to be able to relate to my coaches, my team, I was going to have to come up with some concrete tips and strategies for anybody to implement. So that way it doesn't just look like, oh, Brittany's successful because she doesn't have any babies at home. Or, oh, Brittany can do X, Y, and Z because she has more time available. So, and then on top of that, probably one of the number one reasons I'm in this business after helping people is to create more freedom. And so I don't want my coaches to feel like they're going to have to create, or they're going to have to commit this intense amount of time to their business forever. I want to teach my coaches how to implement certain strategies so that way they can get done what needs to get done, but then they have freedom to spend more time with their families. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. 3 specific things. Again, I uploaded all the little things in the event page. It's just a little picture, so I don't know where you'll find it exactly, but I posted on the wall in the event. So the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was the fact that, and I for those of you who don't know me, you won't know where this is coming from, but this is coming from a humble place. But over the past 2.5 years, I've gone through cross-country moves, deployments, multiple trips, top 10 trips, stress of top 10, all these things, but have been able to maintain my personal business goals without fail. So I'm a Success Club All-Star, Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. And I honestly believe it's because of these small things that I implement in my business. So that way, no matter what chaos comes up in life, you don't have to completely, your business doesn't have to go by the wayside. You don't have to choose either or. If we're diligent with certain things in our businesses, there really does become all this time to do other things. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is the time management like checklist, basically what I use every single day. And again, I uploaded I'm going to screen share in a second, but I uploaded the blank version of this in the event page. So I personalized mine, and this isn't my idea. I got this from Brittany Burchard. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Can you see that? Can you see my time? Okay, cool. So this is a half sheet that I use every single day, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, I filled out my little boxes so that they pertain to my specific business, and I left some of them blank for you guys to include whatever you want. So I fill this out the day before. So this is the night before. I take 5 to 10 minutes before the next day to kind of plan my day. So obviously the things at the top are pretty simple, what date it was. I really like to identify my focus for the day, because otherwise I feel like I'm all over the place. So I try to identify 1 or 2 main focuses of what I'm trying to accomplish. This top main row here are projects. So 3 projects that I want to get done in the day. So for instance, today, my projects are the Southeast webinar, to go over my notes this morning and to hop on with you guys. My second project for the day is to kind of go over my team call prep and to kind of finish up my slides. And then the third thing, the third project that I want to get done today is to send out my email to some of my new coaches about our Getting Started Right call. So that's just an example of projects. So it's just some things that you got to get done in your business. They're kind of, they could wait, but you'd really rather get them done. So I like to identify 3, because otherwise, if you get these 3 things done, then by all means add more. But this way you're not overloading yourself with a million projects, and then we all know how that goes. Nothing ends up getting done, or at least getting done the way that you want. The second main row here is about people. So the first box is people to contact, and the second box is people I'm waiting to hear from. And this is so important for me, and I know for you guys too, because our inboxes are flooded. Our inboxes end up getting a little bit haywire with all these questions or people, asking you things, and it's a little bit hard to figure out where to start. And then by the time you get down to the people that you really needed to talk to, you sort of wasted a lot of time in your inbox, and your inbox sort of drains you and steals your time. And you're always, what Brittany Burchard says is if you're a slave to your inbox, then you're always just reacting and you're not being proactive. And so this row right here is really important for me, because I know when I'm opening my inbox, I'm only looking for the people whose names I've listed in these boxes first. Everybody else has to wait. Everybody else comes second. It's still a priority to get to my inbox. It's just not the first priority. So people to contact are either, people who are waiting for something from me. So whether it's a prospect challenger who's waiting for a little YouTube video clip from me to see what 21 Day Fix looks like, or maybe it's a prospect coach that had a few questions about auto shipment. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, people that you need to get back to. And then the second box, waiting to hear from, you were in active conversation recently with them, and you're waiting for a reply in order to move forward. So again, that usually is coaches or prospect challengers. So again, I usually have, everyone's different, but I usually have 3 or 4 names in each box per day. And so again, the purpose of this is so that way whenever I do open my inbox, I'm only looking for these people first. And everybody else waits until the end of my half sheet is done. I don't go back to my inbox until everything else is done. The last box, or the last little row here, is life priorities, like drop off the dry cleaning, take the cat for their vaccine, don't forget to get, roach spray or whatever, like other things in life that come up that you just have to get done, because we know when you're building a crazy successful business like all of us are doing, it's easy to forget things like fertilizer or like laundry detergent or whatever. So that's my little brain dump column there, or row, so that I don't forget the important things to keep my house running. I added this little video brainstorm box because I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of Post-its all over my desk, but they get a little disorganized. And so this video brainstorm box is just an area, again, for me to brain dump as I'm like maybe answering the same question over and over again, or, you know, coming across something that I think could use a little elaboration. I'll just jot down the topic for video brainstorm, and my goal is to get that video done within the week. So again, it's usually maybe just one topic or two topics that I just jot down, and it's just if it comes up. So on the far left, this column is more just about goal setting, really. The top is my personal Success Club points as of that day, like how many do I have? Lauren is my husband. I try to get his account to Success Club as well. So how many points does he have? The next big box is how many of my 2014 and 2015 coaches are in Success Club. So that obviously matters for elite points. And then what is my goal? How many people do I want to help get to Success Club in, that are 2014 and 15 signups? So that way I kind of know how the team is progressing, who needs some more help, how things are going. And then the last box is just to encourage too. So that's just 2 people in my team who, anywhere in my team, it could be downline coaches that I feel are doing a great job, or I see a lot of consistent effort or posting, just to reach out to those 2 people with a personal message or a voice memo just to say, hey, I notice you're doing a good job, way to go, blah, 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 that kind of thing. So that is my half sheet. So I try to do this the night before. So I try to identify especially my projects and my people. So the first 2 rows, I'd spend 5 to 10 minutes the night before, and I try to jot that down. And what I found is that my day goes so much smoother when I have a game plan, when I have sort of a blueprint of how to start my day. I'm not like spending, a half hour trying to figure out where to start. So, and in the research that I did the last, month or so, that was sort of a congruent success habit that people kind of identify with, that they spent 5 to 10 minutes the night before trying to plan out their day, so that they just had a plan of action. So, okay, so then the other thing that I wanted to tell you about why I do this is because, and I can guarantee everybody can relate to this, is this thing called monkey mind or monkey brain. And it's basically, I'm sure moms can all identify with this. There's just a million things in your brain. You have so much going on, and you're just trying to remember it all. And we all know inevitably what happens is you just forget it. And Murphy's Law is you forget the most important thing. And so this half sheet of paper helps me to eliminate that monkey mind or that monkey brain, so I can brain dump, get thoughts down on paper, and try to prioritize the most important things. So the next thing I'm going to move on into is this technique called the Pomodoro technique. Okay, so hang with me. So let me expand this a little bit. Can everybody see that? Okay, so Pomodoro technique, apparently that means tomato in Italian. That's why there's a tomato there. So this technique is all about focused activity. So this technique is all about getting stuff done, basically. So instead of monkey mind or monkey brain, or you have all these ideas and thoughts and inevitably nothing gets done, this is a way to actually take action. And so again, when we're talking to our teams, I know for me, what I really want my team to feel good about is having a productive day. What Kim Carver says is win the day. I want them to be able to say at the end of the day, you know what, today I did my best. Today I focused, I got done my to-do list, and I won the day. I controlled the controllable. So this Pomodoro technique really, really helps to improve productivity. So this is the whole deal. There's a whole website. There's actually an app if you want the app. There's like a timer app. So there's all sorts of resources that your team can maybe try out for fun. But the whole idea is for you to identify a task. So let's just bring up a common one that people avoid, inviting. So let's just say you have a coach on your team that's maybe newer and is a little terrified of inviting, but they really want to invite 10 people over the next, day or so. They want to invite 10 people to their challenge group. So instead of just saying, I want to invite 10 people to my challenge group today, They would identify their task of inviting 10 people, and they would set their timer for 25 minutes, and they would work against the clock. So set your timer for 25 minutes, and you know that you have 25 minutes to get this focused activity done. Of course, we can add a bunch of different activities as leaders of what we can get done in 25 minutes, but you fill in the blank. The first step is to identify the activity, though. It's not just, oh, I'm going to work for 25 minutes. It's on a specific task. So whatever it is that you're trying to get done, you set the timer for 25 minutes and you work against the clock. So you have that urgency. The whole goal is for you to get your project done, or a huge chunk of it, in the 25 minutes. When the 25 minutes are done, you get up and you take a 5-minute break. You get up from the chair, you walk outside, you do something else for 5 minutes, and then you come back for another 25 minutes if the project's not done. So I guess I should back up. When you're identifying your task, you first set a goal of, like, maybe it's a bigger task. How many 25-minute chunks do I need in order to get this done? So let's just say it was going to be a project where maybe you're editing videos or something in YouTube, and it's going to take you a little longer than 25 minutes. Maybe it's going to take you 2 rounds of 25 minutes. So you give yourself 2 rounds. So you do your 25 minutes focus activity, work against the clock. When 25 minutes are up, no matter where you're at, you get up for 5 minutes, you take a break, you take a little brain break, and then you come back for your second round of 25 minutes. The whole Pomodoro technique is to do this 4 times. So 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, and then you take a 30-minute break. And the whole idea is that you have this really focused activity and behavior that creates this urgency against this little timer, this little intimidating timer that makes you get stuff done, but you're so much more productive. There's this philosophy that they use a different word, but I call it booty in the chair philosophy. And basically the focus is for you to commit to the work that actually moves your business forward. And we all know that, the business building behaviors. So it's a combination of booty in the chair with the Pomodoro technique. So 25 minutes set against the timer. And my coaches have been doing this for a week now, and they're seeing great results. And so I do this as well, and it just helps you to kind of we all know, it's like, I don't know how many of you are full-time Beachbody, but when I was working full-time as a nurse, I was full-time as a nurse the first 4 months of my business, and somehow I got an amazing amount of work done when I was still working like 10-hour shifts. But then when I came home full-time, somehow I got less done. It didn't make any sense, and it was because it was less focused activity. So using this Pomodoro technique, again, I put this slide in the group for you. If you want to use it for your team, feel free to take it. But using this technique not only creates discipline with doing the behaviors that are actually going to move your business forward, but then it creates freedom for people to do what they enjoy doing, like spending time with their family or going outside or taking a half day or whatever. So they don't feel like they have to be a slave to Beachbody and work all these hours all the time if that doesn't align with their goals. So that's the Pomodoro technique. And then I have, am I okay on time? Okay. Then I have one other slide that I wanted to talk about. And this is something that basically we all know. I don't know if you knew it was called this, but it's called the Parkinson's Law. Okay, Parkinson's Law. Let me expand this. Okay, so Parkinson's Law says that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Basically meaning if you give yourself an hour to do a task, you'll take an hour. If you give yourself a half hour to do that same task, you'll get it done in a half hour. So the stuff that I was reading talked about all these studies that they did, and they said that as the length of the time allocated to a task became shorter, the task became simpler and easier to solve. So I know that's true in my business. It's like I start working on a graphic that's supposed to be quick and simple, and then all of a sudden it becomes this 4-day project of like this entire album of graphics. I overcomplicate it. So it's like the more time you give yourself to do something, somehow we complicate it more and more and more. So Parkinson's Law basically says to shorten the time allotted for the task that you want to accomplish, and you'll get it done faster. Another kind of funny example I like to share, well, I think it's funny. For me, when I was a new coach, I was doing the 30-day push, Shilling Johnson's 30-day push in my first month as a coach, and you know how she tells us to identify our big push goal. And so this was me, in like January or February as a brand new coach, and my 1-year goal was to be a Ruby coach. That was my 1-year goal. Like my 12-month goal was to be Ruby. And it was because I didn't understand at all what I was doing, but I also didn't understand the essence of urgency. I didn't understand the essence of a deadline and how that can push you to kind of make yourself rise to the occasion. And I know for those of you who associate with personalities with gyms, I know those of us who have amazing Pearl personalities on our teams, this is a little tough to navigate through, because a lot of times, typically speaking, Pearls don't really identify with deadlines or crunch time or urgency like a Ruby coach does. You know, I'm more Ruby, so this to me is like my heart song. Like I can get down with the deadline because it pushes me. So you'll have to kind of, you know, maybe just, I don't know, kind of be careful with that when you have different personalities in your team. But what helps me reach my Pearl personalities is teaching them to create these artificial limitations. So I know that text is probably kind of hard to read, but creating artificial limitations helps you to follow the Parkinson's, or to basically oppose the Parkinson's law. So create urgency, create deadline. So an example of this, which is something that I do all the time, if you work on a laptop, sometimes I work on my laptop just for a change of scenery, but work without your computer charger. Force yourself to get stuff done before your computer battery runs out. The Pomodoro technique, of course, the 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, do that 4 times, and then take a 30-minute break. That will help you to create more urgency and reach your deadlines faster. Force yourself to move every 2 hours, and work from a specific task list, which is what we talked about in the beginning. Instead of running X miles a day, or instead of inviting 50 people this week, or whatever, or work out 6 times, make it a rule to do X, Y, and Z before 10 a.m. So get even more specific about the goal. Like, that's something I talk a lot about with my newer coaches, because some of them are still trying to make Shakeology a habit, and they haven't really gotten that down. And so inevitably they accidentally skip Shakeology. And so for those people, I tell them, make it a rule, a personal rule, that you have your Shakeology before 10 a.m. And when they do that, they don't skip it. They don't skip it anymore. They stay accountable. Oh, sorry, I'm hearing an echo real quick. I'll just keep talking. Okay, so instead of saying I want to do this, this, and this in the day, or I want to do this week, make it a rule to do X, Y, or Z before 10 a.m. And then this one was a little hard for me, but something I learned from Brittany Bouchard, and why I created my half sheet the way I did. I only check my emails at a certain time every day, emails or Facebook inbox, because I don't want to be sucked in and always be reacting to people. I want to be proactive. So the suggestion is to limit tasks like responding to email to 30 minutes a day, or maybe you need an hour a day, whatever it is, fill in the blank for yourself, but limit that task to 30 minutes a day. Instead of agonizing over every single email and your response, spend 30 minutes of focused time on your emails at the end of the day, and then just be done with it. So you guys, these tips are nothing super special. I think it's just fun to have a name attached to the behavior, but it works. I mean, that urgency really, really works. And it's something, the reason I love to talk about this kind of stuff is it's something that we can all implement in our businesses, no matter where we're at, no matter how many coaches you're responsible for leading, or how many challengers are in your challenge group. Everybody can create their list or their tasks around these techniques, and really see more effective results and progress. So those are my tips. I hope I didn't leave anything out. I'm looking over my notes, but does anybody, I don't know if we have time for questions, but I'm up for it if anybody has anything they want to talk about.
Yeah, if you want to answer a couple of questions, Brittany, that'd be great. Let's do 4 minutes of questions.
Okay, just a reminder, all the things I screen shared are posted in the event page that Craig opened.
Yeah, the Facebook event page that I think I sent to everyone, or that's on the Southeast region page. It definitely.
I could also, I mean, if it's okay with you, I could also put it in the other group. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be fine too. Just because I wonder if it's within the Southeast region leaders page, then only 2-star diamonds and above will be able to access it.
Okay.
If you want to like put it in your own page or something, Brittany, that's open to all, maybe that would be something to do as well.
Okay, That sounds good. Maybe I'll just post it on my personal page for
And
today.
Mike Meads copied the link, but again, only 2-star diamonds and above are going to have access to the event that was posted within the leader, the regional leaders page. So
I'll just make a post on my personal page when we're done with this, and then that'll be a easy find, I guess, for today.
that would be great. That would be great. Okay. Well, hey, you must have been super thorough, Brittany, because I don't see any specific questions coming in. I think everyone is busy jotting down what tasks they're going to complete for the day, how they're going to get down with the deadline, and overcome the monkey mind, and really make the most of their business. So we thank you, Brittany, for being on our Zoom today. It was super helpful. I think everyone absolutely loved it. Oh, quick question here. It says, do you ever go back to the task after a 5-minute break?
Yeah, that's a good question. So remember, you have to go back to the original intent. So whatever your task is, whatever your project is, you do your best to figure out, okay, how many chunks of 25 minutes am I going to need to accomplish that? So like the example I gave was video editing. For some reason, for me, it takes me a while because I'm just stumbling through it. But, so if it's going to take you an hour to do it, then do your first 25 minutes, take a break, and then come back for a second 25 minutes. Hi, Tony. I see you. So it just kind of depends on how many chunks of time it's going to take you. Do you schedule time each week to do videos in chunks? Okay, so my personal goal is to get done 2 videos a week. So I don't really have a day to do videos, but I just know, which I probably should after I just shared with you guys, I should get it done before 10 a.m. on Tuesdays or whatever. But as of right now, I have a goal to get 2 videos done a week. And honestly, it kind of depends on what I've got going on in my video brainstorm box. If I've got some good topics that I want to get on video, then I'm pretty motivated to get it on video. That's what I do.
Great.
And then I set a timer. So,
Brittany, how do you what do you recommend to coaches? I mean, obviously everyone has a different amount of time that they can allocate to their business. Some are full-time, some are part-time, some maybe just have, an hour or 2 every other day. How do you, give them feedback or adapt, maybe some of these tips into someone, whose schedule is unique?
Yeah. So you might hate me for saying this, but the only thing I can say that's going to be effective is to use the business activity tracker, because that way you have a specific guide. Like for me, when I was working full-time when I first started the business, I was a slave to the business activity tracker. I didn't do it if it wasn't on the BAT, because you have such small time. You got to make sure that the time you do have is being spent doing effective things. So whether you like the BAT or not, make your own version, whatever floats your boat, but use a specific task-driven list so that it's not just like stuff on Facebook or find contacts. That's too vague. So you need like really specific tasks that you can say, okay, 5 minutes on this, 5 minutes on that, 5 minutes on this, and you can go through and know that you're really making some headway towards building momentum in your business.
Well, let's do one more question here from Stephanie Cook. Do you see that one?
Okay, yes. Do you plan out all of your Facebook posts ahead of time, brainstorm them, or come up with them on the fly? Sometimes I feel a little glued to my phone because of needing to post, although I turn my notifications off. Okay, so the short version is I post on the fly. But when I was working and I had less time, or when I have a trip coming up or something like that, I create a little folder on my desktop, which I'm sure a lot of you do. I have a little folder on my desktop, and it just says week's posts. And so I'll hop on Pinterest on like a Sunday night when I typically have more time, or I'll Shalene Johnson's tip of like during your workout, toss on a few different tank tops, take a few different pictures so that you have some different material, and then I just slide it in the week grab from. And honestly, what I tell my coaches is don't worry about delivering intense, super well thought out content all the time, because what I find, that looks too planned. That looks too robotic for people. They're like, oh, I don't have time to do what she does. So I think people need to see more on the fly stuff. Lindsay Stay does a great job of that. Just like a glimpse of like, what does life actually look like? I think people are interested in that. So, and then, just because you have a great workout post or something, you can attach a personal development quote that was inspiring to you. It doesn't have to be some like super long thought out life lesson. You know, it can be a little more, I don't know, brief, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess the short answer is no, I don't plan out my post. I know vaguely that I need to, that I need to make sure I'm posting fitness pictures a couple times a week, you know, encouragement, value, that kind of stuff, you know, personalized stuff, but I don't plan them out.
All right. Well, Brittany, thank you again for all of this awesome information. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. If you haven't, check out the chat. Mike Meads just posted an awesome quote, kind of the Dave Ramsey style of priorities. So be sure to check that out as well. Thanks, Mike, for posting that. And you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope this was helpful. We will get this video rendered and put a link on our Southeast region page. As well as I'll put it on my personal page as well, so it's accessible to everyone, and hope that you can use this, come back to it, share it with your team members, and just really use it to get the most out of your business. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.